let's go ahead and talk about another video game before we get into the action with WrestleMania 6 here. We're going to talk about a game that actually was released in December of 1989, but it didn't come out in North America until April of 1990. So we are in April 1st, 1990 with WrestleMania 6. So I believe this is a pretty good time to talk about this game because we live in North America, so we're going to celebrate it as a 90s game.
Yeah, and we're about to cheat on our WWE overlords.
Okay,
here.
so here's the deal, people. This is our podcast, and we can do whatever the fuck we want. That's the deal.
We love
Those are the
wrestling,
rules.
not just WWE.
That is the simple rules to this podcast. Is it's our podcast. If you want to call, complain, write, text, we'll listen to those grievances. But at the end of the day, this is our world, and you're just living in it. Fair enough. Okay, so we are going to talk about our first ever WCW Wrestling video game. So it came out in 1990, and it is actually the first and only to date NWA Wrestling video game, because this was when they were still, they were affiliated with WCW. And it has the Road Warriors, and they, he just passed away, so this is kind of a good time to talk about it too. But it has the Road Warriors on the cover. Very memorable cover. I remember seeing this game.
That's the only thing I remember about this game is the cover to it with the Road Warriors on it. I've never actually played it personally.
Yeah. This was one of those games that I think we saw at the video store. I don't think we ever played it.
I guess technically I did play it, but we'll get to that.
Okay, fair enough. So, anyhow, you get eight wrestlers to choose from. You can play as the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, Sting, Lex Luger, Mike Rotundo, Road Warrior Hawk, Road Warrior Animal, Steve Williams, Kevin Sullivan, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Rick Steiner, Eddie Gilbert, and Michael Hayes. So, and then at the very end of the game, you wrestle a guy called WCW Master.
But
He's a masked wrestler, not to be confused with the Shock Master.
That should have been the Shockmaster.
Should have been the Shockmaster.
That should have been the fun. But that's more like
might have been the inspiration to Shockmaster.
That's more like the final boss, like Shang Tsung or in Mortal Kombat or
yeah. So anyhow, and very unique to the time. You actually, before the matches, got to pick your moveset. You had so many moves to choose from. I believe 8 moves you could choose from. And you had to select 4 to choose from and assign to a direction on the D-pad.
Which is really cool. Which is really innovative for that time period.
Very, very cool. This game actually seems like it was probably better than the WWE game that came out the same year.
Yeah.
So it was very neat move. Or very neat game. But the one thing about it, and very similar to Super Mario Brothers 2, that was released in America, that was a reskin of a Japanese game. This was also a reskin of a Japanese game called Superstar Pro Wrestling. So they literally just took this Superstar Pro Wrestling game that came out in Japan. They slapped WCW wrestlers on it and called it WCW Wrestling.
Oh, see,
this isn't the game you were thinking.
I was thinking of a different game. I was thinking of the game where you had Starman. I remember Starman being one of the...
Yeah, you're thinking of Pro Wrestling. I think it was just called Pro Wrestling on Nintendo.
I was thinking that was the game that got reskinned, so that's my mistake. But yeah, we watched the video for it, and it seems like, at least for the time, it seemed like a very innovative and fun game.
Yeah, I agree. So, but yeah, what I was saying though is, on Super Mario Brothers 2, it was actually a game in Japan called Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, and they reskinned it and turned it into Super Mario 2 for the United States because they said us stupid Americans, it was too hard of a game for us. So we end up eventually getting Super Mario Brothers 2.
Large penis.
Well, so we eventually get Super Mario Brothers 2 in the form of Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels and Super Mario Brothers All Stars that came out for the Super Nintendo. So we eventually do get the true Super Mario Brothers 2. But if anybody ever, listening out here that didn't know already, that's why Super Mario Brothers 2 on Nintendo seems so different.
I actually like Super Mario.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's very
weird,
different compared to the other Mario Brother games. But yes, it turns out WCW did the exact same thing. They reskinned a Japanese wrestling game, and WCW Wrestling was born.
Especially back in those days, I'm pretty sure that happened quite frequently.
Yeah,
probably half the games we loved were.
Yeah, it would be curious to kind of go back and see how often that happened to us.
Turtles, the arcade game, was probably like,
don't ruin my childhood. Don't ruin my childhood.
Was probably a game that the Power Rangers ripped off.
Oh gosh. Yeah, well, a lot of people ripped off Turtles after those beat 'em games.
You know about Power Rangers, right?
What about Power Rangers?
Power Rangers, when it first came out, they didn't actually, all the action scenes were just spliced and clipped from like Japanese TV shows. There was just so many shows that had characters that looked like the Power Rangers. They just spliced it, and that's why they kept changing the Zords or whatever they were called, their giant robots, because they were just spliced from Japanese shows. And all they did is in the American version, they had the Americans, when they weren't in the Power Rangers outfits, do the acting for those parts. And then they just added Japanese shows splicing them against fighting people. It's weird.
I didn't know that about Power Rangers, but I guess I don't know much about Power Rangers.